Congratulations, new 1Ls. You put in the work, you did your applications, your personal statements, your essays if necessary, and now you're starting law school. Congratulations, you're about to go on a ride. I wanted to, in addition to congratulating you, I wanted to share some tips with you that some were helpful to me because I knew, and others would have been helpful to me had I known. So I want to start with books. By now, you should have, perhaps depending on, I guess, where you go, have your schedules, and maybe yesterday was the first day of orientation. And so you need books. Now, books are very expensive. One class that I'm going to be taking this semester, this book is $193. I'm going to find a way to work around that. And so that's actually going to be one of my tips. But anyway, it goes without saying that you absolutely must comparison shop when you are purchasing books. Because without exaggeration, you could easily spend $800, $900 on books if you're not savvy. So I want to tell you how to be savvy. Of course, you want to check Amazon, but there's also a site called 1L'S.com, I think it is. And what it does is you can put in the ISBN number, or you can put in the title of your textbook, and it will do a comparison for you. It will even show you used prices on Amazon. So if someone just posted a book for, I don't know, $115, you'll see the used book, not just Amazon's new price. But in addition to that, you want to check often because obviously people are posting, their used books, at any given moment. So don't just go on Amazon or check DLIs and say, wow, the cheapest I can get this book for is $90. Check often. And when you think that you see a deal that's really, really good, of course you want to snag it up. So that's Amazon, a plug for DLIs.com. Also, what you want to check out is your campus's bookstore. A lot of times students, after they finish their classes, they will resell their used books. And sometimes, depending, I have found books sometimes that were cheaper on Amazon, and I've also at times found books that were cheaper inside the used bookstore, inside the bookstore in the used section. So you just want to really be smart. Here's another tip. At the end of the year or the semester, when you are considering selling your books back, if you go through the bookstore, your campus bookstore that is, wait until the new school year starts. So wait until, for you now, you're the entering class of 2012. Wait until you know what the books are being used, what books are being used by the professors. That's not what I want to say. What professors, you know what I mean. What books are going to be used for the incoming 1L class when you're a 2L? Because what happened to me was I listed my books inside my bookstore, and I think it was my contracts book that wasn't even being used by any contracts professor this year. And I listed the book on Amazon, and it sold for $90. So don't always rely on your books necessarily selling in the bookstore for incoming students. If you're going to definitely resell back, offer it at your bookstore, wait to make sure that that's the book they're going to use. It's really the bottom line. Also, utilize your school's library. Sometimes your professor will have a spare textbook on reserve in the library. I know at my school you can, if the textbook is on reserve, you can use it up to 2 hours at a time. But if no one else is waiting for it, you can just keep going back up to the librarian or whoever's sitting at the front desk there and extend it. And if you're really disciplined, you can, actually get your work done at the library without having purchased the book at all. especially if you're not someone that needs to write on the margins or highlight inside the textbook itself. Also in the library, which you could use if your school has it, is the intra-library loan. So if you're not familiar with what that is, what you'll do is type in the title or the ISBN number. And if your book doesn't have it, if your library doesn't have the book, what you can do is request it. And so if your school is a part of a network of other schools, if a school in, the West Coast, if you're in the East Coast, has it, you request the book, and then, maybe in a week or so, you can get it. I actually utilized that this summer, and I just put in a request for another book for my fall semester. And it's just like taking a loan out on the way you normally would. So, maybe they will loan the book to you for, 4 or 6 weeks or 4 to 8 weeks, something like that. But, if you're really looking to save money, which is, important for me, then, that should be helpful. Another tip that I want to give, now that I've done the whole book savvy shopper thing, is you will be surprised at how much your professors are expecting you to read. And I'm sure you've heard there's a lot of reading in law school. But let me tell you, there is a lot of reading in law school. I'm sure that you'll have at least 4 classes, maybe 5, and sometimes 6. I had 6 my very first semester. And it could easily be that any one professor can assign you 40 pages of reading, 50 pages of reading. And it can be a bit overwhelming. But what I would like to encourage you to do is, yes, you want to get all the reading done. You really do. But even more important than that is that you want to read for comprehension and not necessarily for completion. Because if you're reading 40 pages and you have no idea what's going on, then what good does it really do you? You'd like to go to class after you prepare by reading your assignments, knowing a little bit. Do that. Also, be flexible with yourself, especially if you're a student that's just coming out from undergrad and starting law school. Some of the habits that you may have become accustomed to in undergrad will not work. So if you're used to pulling an all-nighter and being fresh, that may not work for you in law school. And I would almost guarantee that it won't work. You want to really, really take care of your body because it's really easy to burn out. So, eat properly. Caffeine is a favorite. It's been mine too. But see if you can, give your body other ways to feel refreshed and rejuvenated and alert. What worked for me for quite a bit, and I should probably start doing it. I don't know why I stopped. I drank water with lemon slices, and that actually worked really, really well. I was able to be attentive and alert inside my afternoon classes. I didn't feel like I had the dropsies. I'm not sure why I stopped, but that's one tip. Get your exercise in. If you're like me, sometimes you may feel like you don't have time for the exercise because you have so many other things to do. But you've got to give your body good nutrition, good exercise, so that you can keep up with all of the reading that you have. What else? Get good rest. Like I mentioned before, you may have been accustomed to pulling all-nighters in undergrad, but you may find that you need to get to bed a bit earlier and then wake up early. But of course, that will depend on you. And so what I am suggesting that you do is really pay attention to your body and be flexible with it. Don't rely necessarily on what has worked well for you in the past. Be willing to change as your body changes. Because all of the work that you'll be feeding your brain may make your body change a bit. The way you operate is what I mean. Okay, so I think that those are my tips today. I will post a video soon about what I did over my summer. Okay? I am living my dreams by faith. By faith, I'm living my dreams. Take care.